Hello everybody, my name is Battery, and welcome back to Minecraft. Today, I am working on the server, and what I'm going to be building today is probably one of the bigger projects I've worked on, and sort of a upgrade to one of the previous projects I've done on the server. And I'm going to be building sort of a puzzle mansion type thing. Basically a giant escape room for the other people on the server. In this video, I'm probably just going to be building the outside on camera because I don't want to give away any of the secrets on the inside, just in case the people who are going to be doing this end up watching the video. So it will mostly be of the outside and maybe some of the decorations once I've got the all the puzzles and stuff in place. Yeah. But I'm going to do something different, and I'm just going to record the building, and then I'll sort of break it up and cut it up, and then do a voiceover after the fact. So, without further ado, I'll get started building, and then future me will start talking about whatever it is he's going to talk about. Thank you, past me. Now, the topic for this video, if you couldn't tell by the title, is going to be all about what this channel is going to be. So, obviously, the name of the channel is Battery Games, and I've been uploading videos on video games, and that's what I intend to keep doing into the future. One thing I'm also going to try and keep is a consistent one video a week. Not really a schedule, although I will attempt to make it come out on the same day every week, but some projects take longer than others, so sometimes things take longer than others. If I'm feeling extra productive, I might end up putting out 2 videos in a week. Like, what I have planned coming up is once I finish this house entirely, I will also record all of my friends going through the house so that you, the viewer, can see what this was actually for, instead of just seeing the process of it being built. And while I did say that it is a gaming channel, I do want to currently focus on the Minecraft videos, and that's for a few reasons. The main reason is just that the Minecraft videos are easier for me to make in comparison to the other videos, just because the other videos take a lot more recording time usually. They take more time to edit, which is the biggest thing. I'm not really keen on editing too much. That being said, I still want to make those videos. I'm just not going to make those. I'm not going to keep those on a schedule. I just want them to come out whenever I'm done with the Minecraft videos early and I have time to spend making those videos. Because I do want to make them as good as I can instead of like half-assing it because there's a self-imposed deadline coming up. So the Minecraft videos are easy to make and generally don't take too much time. Obviously, for big builds like the one I'm currently doing, it takes a lot longer to build it, but I think overall it takes less time than the amount of footage I end up recording for the other videos, just because there's a specific goal that I'm trying to achieve, or I just need to get enough footage of enough things that I'm explaining in the video. And another reason I want to stick to this series of videos is because I feel like it's the best way for me to connect with you, the viewer, in a more direct way, as opposed to the other videos being very disconnected from the audience, which is not a bad thing. You know, if you're trying to tell a story, you don't necessarily need input from the other people watching. But this series allows me to take topics or just have a general discussion with the audience. It feels more like I'm talking to you as opposed to the other videos kind of exist in their own little bubble, it feels like. I don't have a better way of explaining it. It's just, this feels like I'm talking to you, the viewer. With that said, I have some things listed out as to what I would like to achieve with the channel. Some of these are personal, some of these are very aspirational, like, kind of, there's no guarantee that some of these may happen. Some of these are way down the line and will come at a much later date if they ever do happen. I just wanted to put that on record and kind of allow you to see what I want to get out of the channel, as well as how I want the channel to grow and what things I would like to be able to do with the channel. And this is not an exhaustive list necessarily, and it will probably change as time goes on. But I thought it would be a good, marker of where I'm currently at, and I can do another one of these update videos further on down the line, and sort of compare and contrast where I am now to where I am, 6 months, a year, 5 years from now, if I'm still doing this. So, the first subsection of goals that I wanted to talk about is just the milestones that I wish to achieve with the channel. And I think the first one is probably pretty obvious, but I would like to become monetized. I would like to be able to make money from doing this so that I don't have to go and do something else to get money so that I can continue to do this. I want this to be my full-time job. I want this to be something that is considered productive as opposed to a hobby, I guess. I want it to be a job and looked at as a job because I can show people, no, I make money from this. I am in charge here. I can make money doing this. So, that's the first milestone that I want to achieve on the channel. The second one, this one might sound very aspirational, but honestly, I think it's pretty achievable with how popular YouTube is nowadays, and anybody that's worth their salt kind of does this, and that is to hire an editor. So, once I start, actually making money from the videos, I would like to use some of that money to hire an editor so that I can make more videos. Because right now, my biggest thing holding me back from making more videos is the editing process. I don't like it most of the time. In any of the videos on any game that's not Minecraft I've put up on the channel, that is several hours of footage edited down into a 6 to 12 minute video. And not to mention all of the sound effects that I have to pull, any of the images that show up, any text, anything that is not immediately in the footage I'm recording. I have to go find that. I have to go move it around and do all of the effects for it. It takes a ton of time. So, if I could hire an editor at some point, I would be able to focus on the parts that I find more fun, which is the recording as well as the scripting. Because I actually really have found that I do like scripting out the videos and like making the different characters that show up in the different videos, like the annoying guy who is always like, well, actually, the really high-pitched voice, or with the Curse of the Dead Gods video, most of that video was another character, quote-unquote. So, scripting is actually a part that I find fun, and the recording process, for the most part, is fun. Sometimes it can be a little arduous, just because, you know, you need hours of footage for some of this stuff, and, like, if there's a specific goal in mind, like beating the game with X character, or just beating the game at all, that takes a lot of time, and if I'm only making a video on the whole game, that obviously takes a long time, because most games take anywhere from 10 to 30, 40 plus hours to finish. I don't know that I would make a single video on a game that takes that long, but you get what I mean. It takes a long time just to record, so sometimes it gets a little tedious, but I still enjoy it, because ultimately I'm playing a video game. And that's probably what I would be doing if I wasn't recording anyways. The third one, which I have put as a milestone, because it is something that it's not a question of if it happens, but when it happens, because I want it that bad, at least currently, is to get onto the Hermitcraft server. For anybody that is not always online, and also doesn't watch any YouTube, especially Minecraft YouTube, that means absolutely nothing to you, which, you know, it happens. But Hermitcraft is basically a big server of mostly EU, but some American Minecraft YouTubers, and the main person that I watch on the server is Mumbo Jumbo, and everything that I've seen him work on, any projects that he's gone and looked at from other people, it's just like, I don't understand how these people do it, but it is weirdly inspiring how much time and effort they put into each project, and just kind of like the weird stuff that happens in between. So my, I guess, highest milestone, because I think Hermitcraft would probably happen quite a while after the other two, but that is something that I really, really want to achieve, and would be like an amazing milestone once I do hit it. And I say once I do, because I don't want to stop until I do achieve that. And obviously I'm not going to stop once I achieve it, because then what would be the point of getting into the server? But that is like the longest term milestone that I currently have set for myself. The next subsection of goals that I have labeled as my YouTube bucket list, which, if you know what a bucket list is, yeah, it's basically a bunch of things that, like, I would love to have happen, but it is very aspirational, as opposed to the milestones, which are more achievable, more, like, numbers and things I can work towards, and, like, these are more of just, like, if I happen to be in the right place at the right time kind of things, or, like, I just click with the right people, these will happen. And the first thing I have on my bucket list of two things that I have listed, because honestly, just being able to do it as a job would be far and away enough for me. But these aspirational things, The first one is just to play games with other YouTubers that I have watched for a while. You know, I think I mentioned Mumbo Jumbo earlier. I've watched him since I was like... I've watched him for a long time, and all of his videos are amazing. Although he doesn't usually make outside videos with other people. It's mostly just on the Hermitcraft server. So, that, you know, it would take some finagling, but, you know, that's one person that I would like to record with. Other people that I would like to either hang out with or make videos with. Like, I'm not asking to suddenly be thrust into the limelight by one of these people, but at some point I would like to play games with some of the people that I have watched and continue to watch to this day on YouTube. People like the Russian Badger would be amazing just because his whole group just seems like a bunch of very funny and very chaotic people. Captain Sparkles is another one, but for kind of a different, like, opposite reason, if that makes sense. He's very chill, and it seems like it would just be nice to, like, I don't know, make some videos with him, chill out, play some more chill games. Yeah, I mean, those are the people that I kind of look up to the most currently. It would be almost wish fulfillment to be able to be in the same space as those people. My second thing on the bucket list, and the final thing on the bucket list, is to get invited on some sort of Dungeons & Dragons show. Whether that be Critical Role, Dimension 20, any other D&D show, either as just a guest for a little bit, or as a cast member, I guess you would call them, like a long-term character that stays for the whole series, because I love playing Dungeons & Dragons. Like, if I could, I think I would choose to play D&D more than I currently play video games. That's how much I love it. Now, obviously, getting on to any of these shows is not particularly easy. Like, Critical Role, they're all professional voice actors, and they pull in other professional voice actors to come on the show. I don't think I've seen any, like, YouTuber appearances, unless I'm just unaware of some of the guests they've had on who are secretly YouTubers. And in a weird way, Critical Role is kind of the reason I started this YouTube channel, because I wanted to get into the voice acting scene, but trying to brute force your way in is kind of like beating your head against the wall. So I figured to build up a bit of a repertoire, I would make YouTube videos, and then I could use that as kind of a touchstone for voice acting. So, in a weird way, it would be like coming full circle if I could get on to Critical Role, because they're the reason I started in the first place. Which is weird, considering they are a D&D show, and my channel is a gaming channel. Not saying it's going to happen by any stretch of the imagination. It would just be amazing if I could. And that's not to discredit any other D&D show. All of the clips and things that I've seen of any other show also seems really amazing, and I would love to be a part of any of them, either short-term or long-term. And eventually, maybe, this is kind of on the, I guess, theoretical goals, is to maybe start another channel that is a D&D channel, or join somebody else's channel that's a D&D channel. So those are the two things that I have on my YouTube bucket list. They're not gonna happen anytime soon. I can guarantee you that much. But I would really, 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 really like them to happen at some point. And I wanted to end this with my personal goals. Because the milestones and the bucket list, like, yes, those are kind of easy to track almost. Like, they're very concrete things that can happen with the channel. And it's good to have those goals. But honestly, I think if you're doing it just to achieve those milestones, like, nobody's gonna watch my videos if I'm just sitting here being like, get me on Hermitcraft. Subscribe. I'm just doing this for the money type thing. Just my personal goals for the channel. The first one I have is just to be able to reach out to people. I just want to reach out to as many people as I can. I would like to be able to know enough people to do basically anything creatively that I would like. So, whether that's, like, I guess business contacts, or even just people watching the videos. Like, even now, with the almost 90 views that I'm getting per video, like, that already makes me feel good. Like, 80 to 90 people are going out of their way and either stumbling across my videos or getting the video recommended to them in some way, and they're choosing to click on it despite the fact that I am just starting out and that, you know, I don't have a lot of subscribers, so there's not a lot of people who, or, well, there's not really anybody, like, vouching for me. So, even in these early stages, having anybody watching at all brings me a huge sense of accomplishment. And so, just being able to reach more people in that way, and have more people be interested in the things that I'm trying to make, would just make me the happiest person in the world. And that kind of brings me to the second point that I have, which is, you know, I want to make people laugh. I want to make people smile. I want to make people's day better. And any way that I can do that, again, gives me a sense of accomplishment. So, you know, if people watch the videos and they're like, hey, that joke was pretty funny, or hey, the video was entertaining, or it brightened my day, or anything like that, that makes me feel really good about what I'm doing. Kind of on top of that, I also want to make people think, which is why I've decided to go with this sort of format, where I just sort of discuss a topic instead of just like narrating what I'm doing. I choose a completely different topic and talk about that for the length of the video, because I think as much as just being funny and entertaining is good, and, you know, you gotta have, like, everybody wants entertainment, but I also think it's important for people to be thinking while they're being entertained as well. So this format allows me to discuss topics that you probably wouldn't have, well, I don't want to make too many assumptions, but most of the things that I'm going to be talking about or have talked about, you probably wouldn't go out of your way to go look for that stuff. So combining that with the Minecraft stuff, so that even if you're not super interested in what I'm saying, you could still, like, watch and see the building process happening in the background or whatever. I feel like that's equally as important as making people smile and laugh, because thinking is a thinking is a very important thing that you have to do every day. And the more things you have to think about, the more things you can draw on in your own day-to-day life, if that makes sense. Which is, like, weirdly deep, but that's kind of how I think about it, which is why, maybe to my own detriment, I like learning new things, and so I kind of just jump from one thing to the other, just because I like having the ability to draw on that knowledge in the future. The final thing that I have under my personal goals is that this YouTube channel I am using as a tool to help me grow. Because currently, my focus is horrible, if I didn't already allude to that in the previous point. I like jumping from thing to thing to thing, and rarely I have enough focus to actually stick with one thing for a long time. So, one thing that this channel will hopefully help me get under control is my lack of focus, because I want to put most of my focus into this YouTube channel. And in order for it to grow, and for me to achieve the milestones that I've set for myself, I have to focus on this YouTube channel. The other major thing that I could think of is that it will help me with my project completion, which kind of falls under focus, but just sitting down and finishing things is hard for me. I tend to start projects, like, I think the most recent example I can think of is I started taking a course on Code Academy for JavaScript and, like, website coding, but I never learned enough to actually apply anything. I basically made it through the introductory class for JavaScript and then fell off of it because I wasn't able to apply anything that I'd learned up until that point, so I got kind of bored with it. So, with the YouTube channel, basically every video is its own project, and I want to focus on completing any projects that I start. So with things like the Slay the Spire series, where I'm beating the heart for the first time with each character, I can't just, like, give up on that, because then it would be dissatisfying for the people watching, just because I've already done 3 characters. So soon enough, people are going to forget that I even did those videos, and the people who did watch those videos won't have a satisfying conclusion to that arc, I guess, is the best way I can put it, because I'd be leaving off the final character, which is, like, the end of the story, is finally beating it with the Watcher. Or even just, like, videos that I've sat down and recorded, but I haven't, like, edited together yet. Like, currently I'm working on a Risk of Rain 2 video that I have recorded, and I recorded all of the audio for the script already. I just have to sit down and edit it. So I am trying to focus on my project completion and sort of treating each video as its own project. Or even, like, these Minecraft videos where it's like, I'm working on something huge. Even just sitting down and finishing a project in Minecraft is hard for me to do. So, having the YouTube channel almost keep me accountable to that is surprisingly helpful. Because then it gets into my brain like, hey, other people are, like, watching this, and if you just leave it in the middle, people are not going to be satisfied with that. People are not going to want to continue watching because everything is left on, like, this weird cliffhanger. So that's basically what I want to do with the channel. There are some other, like, wishful thinking things, like maybe starting other channels for different things, but for right now, I want to focus on this channel and this channel only, even if I have ideas for other channels, because, you know, if I spread myself too thin, I don't think I will get anywhere with anything. So just putting my head down and focusing on this channel is what I want to do. And hopefully that will engage people, and that will allow me to achieve the things that I want to achieve, so that I can later on down the line sort of pick and choose different projects and be able to do everything that I want to do instead of just a few things. And so now I am going to pass it back to Past Me, who is just finishing up. Okay, I think I am finally done with the outside, now that the roof is actually done this time. As you may notice as I'm walking around, the main part of the building is pretty flat, and I still have some stairs to fill in down here. And the inside is completely empty right now, but that will be a project for another video, is getting all of the things put in on the inside. For right now, I think that's gonna do it. And I will see you guys in the next video, where I will be completing the inside of this giant thing. So, if you liked it, make sure to leave a like, comment what other things you would like me to build. I'm always open to build project ideas, and I'll see you in the next video.